And last but not least, Matt, you haven't spoken yet tonight.
That's unusual, right?
Well, let's have you.
You still have a voice.
Oh, yes, don't worry.
Good.
That's it. I've no idea how you want to start, so I'll leave it up to you. This is Max, it's his venue, please listen. But I've seen some of what he's going to show you, and I think it's incredibly useful for the future.
I've got the really quickly, because it might be running down the bottom there.
So you're the only guys who actually know how to use this thing, right?
Yeah.
Design your function, you decide it?
No, so I think we need to start that down because you have been running down here. Oh,
That one,
what did it say?
NWXE. You know that with your thingy.
Yeah.
So a bit that platform. So we have 3 areas of our business. We have an interiors business, which we design kind of like high-tech sales centres, really kind of new ways of thinking, offices, and everything that's in between. We have a brand side, which deals with the brand comms, and then we have a digital side, which deals specifically with customer experience centres. What customer experience centres? They're places where corporates sell their products and services to their customers in a different way. And what we've been working on over the last 6 or 7 years is gamifying what they're doing, turning it into a digital application, or a suite of them in this case. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we do with our customers. This has come from a lot of learning. And one of the things that we found is like, the thing with apps is like, you buy an app and then that's it. It's that's it for the next 3 years. And if you're a corporate, you're spending, lots, tens, hundreds of thousands of pounds on apps that do one thing and then you can't change it. So you kind of have a really short cycle of the time that you can use it in its current. So what we look to do is create a series of applications that actually you can edit yourself. So as a customer, you can edit and change all of these applications. And that's kind of what drove us to where we are now. So I'm just going to show you a few of these because I don't want to crap on for too long. So we sell these applications along with the actual customer experience center itself. We design it, we build it for them, we put all the hardware in, and then we put all the software on the space. And we created like a workshop thing. It's like a 5-stage workshop. It's called disruption, introspection, discovery, ideation and mapping. And each one of these is there to do something. So disruption is there to kind of scare the shit out of people. It's kind of like the big mega trends that are coming along over the next 10 to 15 years. That's everything from blockchains to global economic shifts to the
Trump being elected.
that's going to have to come into it now. Software update now, can you believe it? Disruption kind of scares people. It's kind of looking at things and going, blimey, what's out there? It's good, it's bad, but it makes you think. Introspection is a lot about thinking about how that's going to affect the company. Discovery is all about, okay, what can I learn from that? If automation is going to suddenly change my business, what should I be doing? How should I be engaging with that? So when I talk about AI, that has fundamentally massive impacts for so many companies. All the call centres, you're just going to be managed by AI. All of the devices, Internet of Things, they're going to be talking to each other. So there's loads less people that need to be in a call centre because the stuff's fixing itself. It's cool. It's brilliant. But people have to think about things in a different way. So these applications are set there to help them think. So I'm going to show you a few of them. So I forgot. So this one, what we get people to do, they have 2 minutes. And what these are some of those big global disruptors. So we've got digitalization, we've got biomedicines, we have blockchain. Do you know what blockchain is?
No,
That's amazing. Bitcoin, everyone
Oh,
knows
right,
Bitcoin?
oh, right.
So blockchain is this like set code stuff that basically means that I describe it the way I describe it. It's basically it's like a ledger. So every transaction is recorded and it's spread across like about 2,000 computers or something.
About 10,000.
About 10,000 now. So it basically means that any transaction you carry out is logged everywhere. So it kind of almost does away with fraud straight away. So all those kind of like money transactions that you hear about going on that shouldn't have gone on, they're going to find you. You can't get away from it. So the safety level of this and security level of this is exponentially increased by the introduction of blockchain. What it means on the downside is you don't need a bank. You can do all of this. You can do an instant transaction and pay anybody anywhere in the world just by a click of a button. Providing a set lot of criteria have been met, you can pay. So it does away with banks. But what it also does away with is a level of security in terms of how people engage with each other. So contracts. So you want to buy a house, you wouldn't need to go to a lawyer anymore because you've set up the contract. As soon as the money is paid off by one, it's paid off to the next, to the next, to the next. But it's instant. So you don't need a lawyer. So all of these things suddenly mean, oh, my life is going to change completely. I don't need to pay for a lawyer. I don't need to pay my banking charges. I'm going to be in control of my own money. I can put it wherever I want and it's going to be safe. So when you start to think of these things, that becomes quite fundamentally important. So if we have a banking client come to this office, we love that shit because it's great to scare them. Most of them kind of know this stuff already because it's coming in quite quickly, but some of them don't. Some of them, when you're talking insurance, they hadn't necessarily thought of some of these things. So, insurance is going to change massively. So we use our gamification to get them a little bit scared. And this app Discovery is all about that. So they kind of do this. They kind of say, okay, this is really, really important to me. Biomedicine, I'm a bank, why would I care about biomedicine? Sharing is caring, fixing the community. People are going to change. People aren't going to be doing the kind of, I own a car, I own several houses, or I own a car. What else? What you own? A TV, for instance. Everything in the future is going to be geared more towards people being able to share the technology. So a car sits in your driveway or at work. The rest of the time, it sits in your driveway all night. It sits at work for the whole day. The only time you're using it is like to get to and from work. So it's like roughly like 1 hour out of 24, it's wasted. So in a new sharing economy, the idea would be that more people share cars. So when you see about car automation, when you see about car club, that's the first signs of this stuff coming through. Airbnb, another one, biggest real estate company in the world now, 30 billion valuation, came out of absolutely nowhere, bigger than the hotel trade by some miles, and yet owns no hotel rooms. These kind of disruptive industries are going to change everything. And again, what we want people to do is think about it differently and say, what can I learn from that? What can I learn from Airbnb if I'm, say, an insurance company? How can I learn about that? Interesting. We get them to ideate across those ideas. So this one, Discovery, is all about setting those priorities, and we time them. You've got 2 minutes to come up with what you think are the most important, just 4 things that you think are the most important. So they'll be spinning this thing, pulling out the different ideas, and playing around with them. I'm going to go through all of these guys because it will take me forever. So then what we do, I better close that one, didn't I? Do I have to stop it, mate?
Yeah.
We've got a new app, it's called News Desk. And what we do here is we say, okay, so we just talked about, what should we talk about? We just talked about, let's say, fundamental changes in the world. Here's a new one. Donald Trump. So this app here, we can do a search. We could use the Siri voice, so we can just speak into it if you want to, or you type it if you want to. And you can set in these apps kind of things like sentiment, so like positive sentiment or negative sentiment, and then it does a search for you. So I can just sit here and get it to go out, and it's going to search across a range of different, anything from like The Guardian through to
I don't believe there is a positive sentiment of Trump.
well, you never know. Let's see. We've got it's a bit fadey, mate. What's that?
There you go. Loads twice.
Oh, loads twice. Sorry. Ooh,
It's
What have we
gonna
got
break
here?
your app. There's so many.
So we got, it's still loading. Have we got something downloaded? Oh, we're streaming. Am I at it? What have we got? Ivanka Trump. I've just got to wait for it to load. That's slow internet. So what we're doing here is we're putting out all of the current posts that are going on. You can do it in Twitter, you can do it in, like I say, The Guardian and Telegraph, MSN, you can do it by Fox News, I think. Pretty much just loads. And what we do here is we gather the sentiment. So you can kind of sit there, new interface, wonderful. So I can switch on this, and then if it's loading okay, yeah, I can actually then go through and it'll actually load up the page that I was interested in from those different posts that I pulled out. And we can also then start to do things like give things different colours. And the reason you do this is you start to look at them and think, so, okay, this is quite important to me. I'm going to keep these ones because these are orange, these are mediumly important. I'm going to dedicate some of them as being red because they're really, really important to me, and finally some of them as being green because they're cool, but I don't really need to think about them too much. And what you're starting to do here is just like, okay, I looked at the disruptors, I realised that blockchain was probably going to screw my world completely. I've come on here and Donald Trump has become president of the US. Before I go any further, how many people actually thought he was going to become president?
I thought it might happen.
Yeah.
Ever since we voted Brexit.
There's just no escaping it. Is that we kicked this off, and then America said, "Hold me drink, I'll beat you to it." So yeah, we use this as a kind of discussion point. Now people love it. Our customers love it. You know, you want to talk about something that they just launched. So we had a company in here, and I'm really chuffed about the new product launch they just did. So we did a search for it, just a quick search. We looked about 5 things, and that was it. And they realised they actually hadn't done their social media marketing well at all. And the way that they had grasped it, they thought, yeah, we're going to be everywhere. There's going to be no problem at all. 5 posts about it, and that was it. So these are learning curves from them. They can look inside their business and go, you know what? This is quite scary because we really need to think about how we manage our social media. But they can also go, look at the way that these guys manage their social media. Look at the way that Donald Trump manages his social media. It's genius. He's always there, good or bad. He's always at the top of people's minds, and that's why probably he won more votes than people expected him to. So we have loads of these apps. So I'm not going to go on for any long because I think that's quite enough. It's very kind of Pete to let me talk. But this is what we do. This is how we use gamification in the business environment. And what we get our customers to do is to learn how to use these apps and then do it to their customers. And when they do that, they're able to sell their products and services much more convincingly. So for instance, Vodafone use us, or use our applications to sell their products and services because they are a network provider. But who cares? Network, really? What they want to do is they want to sell all the services from data security through to mobile, fixed, landline, and data services all combined in packages, and then sell them a whole load of third-party bolt-ons. In order to do that, they need to talk about stuff that's outside of the things that they do. So this is how they use those applications to do that. And then we create a whole load of other ways that they illustrate what their products and services mean. So we have apps that will show them their kind of different products and services as a story. So we'll put in videos, we'll be able to ping stuff across the room onto mobile phones and tablets and show them how actually stuff can really work. So that could be anything from, I don't know if you remember the kind of Minority Report stuff where he walks down a shopping mall and starts talking to him all the way down. That's just pinging messages, content messages to it. We have beacons that sit around the room and they get pinged messages as they go around the room. So all these stuff is the technologies that are coming through now that will influence our future. And what Vodafone want to do is to position themselves right at the front of that. So they use these kind of apps to say, this is what we're thinking, this is where stuff is going, and this is how we think we can help you. And that's us.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Any questions for Max?
Oh, no questions. I can ask myself.
No, just wait. Let's give up. I get a question, which is like, you talk about how gamified it is, but there's no obvious gamification elements.
So
Tell us a bit more about
okay, so our version of gamification is a little bit different, I think, from your version of gamification, because we get people to go and play at workshops. So the physical things that we get them to do whilst they come to the centre, we send them off with tasks, so they'll go off to different areas of the room, and they will have a task that they need to achieve, and then come back and share with the others. So our version of gamification relies on physical games and activities rather than inducements and kind of competitiveness that goes on the screen, apart from the timing and the voting, not really.
Voting, yeah.
Voting probably.
Voting is a
Yeah.
big gamification.
Yeah. So our gamification is slightly different from yours, I think.
Well, I think it's really interesting because you've got really advanced apps to encourage people to be gamified and engaged physically in person.
Because I absolutely because I
So I
fundamentally
think it's great.
Yeah.
Because gamification is about motivating people.
Yeah. I fundamentally believe that physical interaction is really important, and lots of people just want to rely on digital to take it over. That's not the case. That's why we have whiteboards and all this kind of thing as well, for that very reason.
I was going to ask you about these things. I'm actually UX designer, and there's a lot of tools that actually do these things without actually using the technology. So you can, when we're talking voting, we use dots, so dot stickers, just to vote on things. How do you think you improve in the experience by using your apps? And do you actually quite often just trying to solve one solution? So what I mean is, like, let's say you have idealization workshop. Would you have a solution for that, or would you try to solve a lot of problems with your apps?
It's a really good point. So to address the first one.
Sorry, I actually didn't ask the correct question because I asked 3 questions. So I made the thing. So yeah, go for it.
So the first one about what do we think that we're bringing with the digital as opposed to rather than just putting a dot on.
Yeah.
We record it all. So
Right.
we're able to aggregate that data to understand how patterns change and what people are doing,
Right.
which is really important for our customers and for ourselves as well, to know how to improve and also to gather the data to improve the apps, but then to change perceptions. So by gathering all the stuff, we have a digital database of what they're doing.
Do you think it's also easy to get really like high-level stakeholders to actually go and do stuff? Because what I found in the past, it's quite difficult sometimes to actually get the message across. So it's like you're getting like really important people to the room. Like we work with Porsche quite a lot, and we have like the top manager from Porsche Digital, and then suddenly giving him a posting notes and a couple of stickers. So I guess tools like that can help to break this kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we have post-it notes which we digitised.
Right.
So what we can do with the post-it notes is that we can group them all together. So you've got different themes. So a whole load of post-it notes on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We can gather them all together and group them into themes. We link them all, so you can just push them as one group.
Right.
Of things. So then you can start to identify the different themes and topics. Those different themes and topics you can capture. So we're able to digitally output everything that we're capturing on the screen.
That's right.
And track how that's influencing.
So I know they will take a picture and you have already something digitally. Which
Which is tracking all the data
Yeah,
as well,
that's
which
right.
we can then feed back into it.
That sounds really good. And coming back to the second question, is like, would you develop the app specific for a certain task, or?
So that comes from the learning thing. I think we were talking a little bit earlier about getting people's feedback as to how best to use the apps. What we found, there's different ways to kind of sell the apps.
Yeah.
You can sell them individually. So you can sell one because it's post-it notes and people like digital post-it notes. You can sell one because it's discovery and people like to spin the cube around and do this stuff. You can sell another one because it's news desk and they like getting current news and it seems quite big data kind of drawing. You can do it that way. In which case, I'll just buy it and just do one thing with it. Or you can use it as the proper innovation workshop journey, in which case you need to really be very cerebral about how you go through it. So if you don't have an answer to the question that you're posing, you need to manage the track of that customer journey to make sure that you get some answers. They may not be the right ones, but at least some as you're going through. So it really depends on how you manage the journey as to how you use the whole apps. If you use them all together, you're structuring a journey, you expect an output.
So you have certain stages that you use to take your customers through.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have disruption, and you have certain stages who
Yeah.
work together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're called customer journeys, and you tailor them to suit the different types of stakeholders that you have coming in.
Right.
And as you say, senior level stakeholders can be quite difficult to engage with.
Yeah.
But that's the technique of facilitation.
True.
If we're good facilitators, we should be able to get through the toughest stakeholder by and large. Probably 85–90%. It's a good experience, but there'll always be some that are just a tough nuts to crack. But actually, we find having the application for some of them, they love it, especially if they know there's data behind it. As soon as you mention the word data, everybody goes, "This is great. This will fundamentally change your business." I mean, unless you know what to do with that stuff, it's kind of tough. But
All right. Well, what I think we should do is kind of wrap up the official parts of the talk, and you should all badger Max to show you the other apps. The post-it note one, I think. And interact with them. Am I right?
Yeah.
Remember, you can have multiple people interacting with it as well.
yeah, you can. We've only got one iPad up there. But
You have multiple people on the screen interacting with it.
Yeah, so you can do it on here. Yeah.
which one do you want? Post-it note.
But basically, I wanted to say a round of applause for Max, please. A round of applause for all our speakers tonight. Thank you very much for all coming along, and we hope to see you at the next meetup whenever we set it up, and help yourselves to some more drinks and snacks. Mingle, ask questions of the speakers, and now we'll turn off the live stream. You can start swearing again if you want.
Yes!
You've been waiting for that.
Thank you very much.
Now you drink beer and swear.
I swear again.
No.